Shalom. I like to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashemi Hawashai, Bahashema Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to my Akim, who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen, but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. And the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. This is your brother Akali from the JMS Jamaica Kingston camp, and this video is another MOTB, which y'all know what that is, update, alright? And that MOTB is the microchip, alright? And as well, if the Spirit allows, I'll be touching on a video where it's talking about a drought, all right, that has hit California and Nevada, which is in America. America is known as Mr. Babylon the Great. So anyway, let's just jump straight into it. Bank of England sets out core principles for a digital pound. And this is from nfcworld.com. All right, now we know about the central bank digital currencies that have been developed worldwide and are being developed worldwide. You know what I'm saying? From China to Sweden to the UK to the Caribbean to out here in Jamaica, man. All of these central banks around the world are developing their central bank digital currencies. And why is it that they're doing this? Because the wicked elite, all right, the people that rule this world, these Edomites and their elite, all right, are getting ready to push their NWO, man. All right, well, actually, we're already in the midst of it, you know what I'm saying, those beginning stages. But at the peak of their NWO is the MOTB, which is that microchip, all right? So they're doing away with the cash and they're bringing about this new way to make payments, which is going to be by way of this microchip, and it's going to be a digital payment. All right. So let's just go to the precept, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. All right. So he causeth all. All right. It's talking about those same wicked elite that I mentioned, man. All right. Of the Edomites. And they intend to microchip everyone. Okay. It don't matter who you are or your social status. It's meant for everyone. It's going to be the new slave system that they want to usher in, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So this MOTB has to do with buying and selling. All right. The most common example that we always bring up is over there in Sweden, where people are willingly being microchipped and they literally use it to make payments, man. Okay. Over there in, where is it? I think Japan, they have the, what's it called? The IPPO microchip implant, the Goldex IPPO microchip implant, where when you watch that video, you can YouTube it. They're showing that they literally show the microchip and people are microchipped and they go to the store and they purchase goods from the store. And then it also shows other uses of the microchip where, like, I believe somebody's at like the doctor and the doctor scans them and all these things. This is where the world is heading to, man. And we're seeing the developments of it. All right. When you break down this word mark, you have the charagma, which is the physical microchip. You have the Carax, which is the device used to administer the microchip. And then you have the grapho, which is the information stored on the microchip. So this is why we're also seeing these digital identity systems and this fast development of biometrics and biometric identification and the consolidation of all of the information onto one unit. You know, right now you have the phone is one of those units, right, where they're consolidating all of this information, and now they're slowly moving, not even slowly, all right, they're quickly moving towards the consolidation of all of your identifications, etc., forms, documents, and everything else with a wallet. All right. So everything's just going to be stored on that market chip, man. All right. It's going to be an all for one use. That's its purpose. All right. For payments, identification, etc. Okay. So that's why we have, for example, in England, so it says from the Bank of England Central Bank Digital Currency, financial inclusion, creating a competitive ecosystem, comparison with other payment innovations, user privacy, and monetary and financial stability will be the 5 core principles that guide the Bank of England's future exploration and development of a central bank digital currency CBDC in the UK, the financial institution has revealed. The bank has drawn up the principles based on stakeholder feedback to its March 2020 discussion paper about the possible introduction of a digital pound, which it says shows strong agreement that the bank should, at the very least, be carefully studying CBDC. So its CBDC project is financial inclusion should be a prominent consideration in the design of any CBDC. A competitive CBDC ecosystem with a diverse set of participants will support, etc., etc. All right. So this is just all the information. The bank now intends to deepen its exploration of CBDC. It will do so through 3 new initiatives. First, a joint task force has been established with HM Treasury to ensure a coordinated approach to exploring the public policy, etc. Second, a CBDC engagement forum is being established to engage senior stakeholders, etc. And third, a CBDC technology forum will be set up to ensure the bank understands the state of the art when considering all technology aspects of CBDC. Okay. So the publication of the findings from the March 2020 discussion paper comes as the bank also launches a new discussion paper that outlines its emerging thoughts on digital money, including stablecoins and CBDCs. Now you see this right here, new forms of digital money, that's in purple. This takes you directly to the Bank of England website. I'm not going to click on it because the last time I did a video where I went to their government site that has to do with this MOTB. I mean, it literally is the system. It literally shows and shows the system that they want to implement, which is the exact way that, you know, the prophets of Yahweh Shemisha has been describing, you know, the world to be when this MOTB, which is a market chip, comes to pass. All right. So, you know, this is just where it's at. We live in an increasingly digitalized world where the way we make payments and use money is changing rapidly. The way we make payments, right? So the way that we make payments, most people do not use cash. Okay, a lot of people use cards and mobile payments and all of these things. You know, the studies have come out numerous times regarding this. And people are just already so used to not using the cash and just swiping their card. I mean, eventually they're going to be swiping their hand. All right. And it's just going to all be paid in a digital form. Okay. So that's what's going on, man. All right. Now, when you look at the prophecy of, you know, this MOTB, you know, it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number for his name. So you won't be able to buy or sell. You won't be able to participate in commerce or go to the grocery store to buy foods or anything else. And then it extends further than that, man. You won't have access to government services. You won't have access to public services, private services, any of these things unless you have it. And we're seeing the how it is intended to be, man, with the situation that's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? And the solution that they give to that situation, that worldwide situation that's going on, you know, they have the solution that they're giving people. And now we're seeing in certain parts around the world, certain kinds of privileges, quote unquote privileges, being taken away based on if individuals accept that solution or not. So we'll look at this right here. All right, from RT. Y'all see the title. I'm not even going to read it, you know, but y'all see what it is. Boom, boom. All right. So unless you take the solution, you ain't going to have no phone over there in Pakistan. So then it says something down here. Let's go straight to the point. In addition to the SIM card restrictions, Authorities might also ban people, those kinds of people, from going to parks, restaurants, and malls, according to media reports. So, I mean, it's like a stepping stone. It's like a beginning stage. You know, it's like getting the people used to this idea that unless they take a solution for whatever quote unquote problem there is, right, then they won't have access to life as we know it. All right. And this is going to force a lot of people into taking the solutions, man. And it's going to be that MOTB as well, man. All right. Yo, man, that hour of temptation is coming, Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. And, you know, that's why it's called that hour of temptation, man, because, yo, man, especially when it comes to this food, because we know the famine is coming. And, you know, this is a good segue to go into the famine, that this video, the next video I want to bring up. Well, let me just read this real quick. Revelation chapter 3 verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And the word world here is oikoumene, which is talking about the entire earth, all the inhabitants. All right. Now, in regards to the prophecies or the mark of the beast, it's only for you Israelites, man. All right. Because salvation is only for the children of Israel. All right. Only we can be saved. And it will be a remnant, which is the elect, that will be saved. Okay. In Revelation chapter 14, it talks about the judgment, all right, for those Israelites that take the MOTB, that mark chip. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. So if you as an Israelite, all right, especially specifically in America and also worldwide, okay, take that mark chip, you would have accepted the rulers of this wicked kingdom today. Job chapter 9 verse 24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, all right, toward these Edomites. So if you accept their way of life, their society, everything about them, their democracy, their microchip, then you gonna face this judgment. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Shemeshai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So you're going to be destroyed, man, when Yahushua returns, point blank, period. All right, America's going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, thus saith the scriptures, and Yahushua is going to aid in that destruction, and he is going to deliver the elect of Israel out of America, 1/3. All right, but the you 2/3 up in America, y'all going to be destroyed, man. All right, and the 2/3 will be consisting of those that take the mark chip. All right, so I did mention that famine, so let's just go straight to this video right here. California and Nevada now in drought.
A few weeks ago, I reported on how the entire western half of the United States is currently being ravaged by a drought so bad that many are calling it a mega drought. And unfortunately, since then, things have only gotten worse as summer sets in. Because now comes the news that the states of California and Nevada are 100% in drought, according to the U.S. Drought Monitor. Climate scientists also say that 72% of the western U.S. is now in severe drought or worse, and that this is the most extensive severe drought recorded in history. And this, of course, has wide-ranging implications. There's the wildfires to consider. Such dry conditions make it much easier for one to ignite and to burn hotter and faster than it would normally. And in fact, California, Arizona, and New Mexico have each already had 2 large fires so early in the season. Experts are now predicting that this fire season will exceed last year's total of 10.3 million acres burned. What's worse, they think we are now at the point where the fire season won't actually come to an end. Rather, wildfires will just continue to burn year-round. Then, of course, there's the fact that water's needed for crops and animals and, people to survive. Ranchers and farmers across the land are already experiencing hardships of all sorts, which could very well lead to food shortages. Wells are drying up everywhere, and the water level in Lake Mead has dropped so low that officials are warning there's a good chance the federal government will declare an official water shortage there, too. Yes, it's gotten so bad that climate scientists are now talking about it as an emerging megadrought. These are severe droughts that last for a particularly long time. They've occurred periodically over the past 1,000 years or so out in the West. Scientists have learned about them by studying ancient tree rings. They found one that lasted 80 years. All signs are pointing to the possibility that another megadrought is beginning to set in. one that looks to be even worse than anything we faced in 1,200 years. So the good news is that the West has actually faced such droughts before. Bad news is that we're not quite sure how long this one will last or how bad things could get in today's changing climate. And again, it's getting worse, fast, as summer sets in. So the only thing we know for sure right now is that this summer is looking to be one scorcher that could affect the whole country.
Yeah, man, this summer, it's looking to be, yo, man. Yahweh Shemishai got their plans, and, things can pop off at any time, man. We've been telling y'all, we've been updating y'all in regards to these prophecies, and, things are in place. Things are truly in place. And I want to read this comment right here from Randy Newton. Can't wait for the government to determine who's essential and non-essential for food and water. Fun times, right? Because, there are people that are seeing where this famine is going to be coming in, man. And with the famine comes the water shortages as well, right? Or the lack of water, all right? And then it says, can't wait for the government to determine who's essential and non-essential for food and water. So guess what? You know who's going to be essential for food and water? And who's going to be non-essential for food and water? Think about it. Those who have the solution to the current situation that's going on right now, those are going to be the people essential. And those who don't, they won't be essential. Just with the MOTB, which is that market chip, unless you have it, you ain't going to have access to these things. It's all in the works, man. All right, but a precept for this video, man, the perfect precept for this drought situation, 2nd Ezra chapter 6. And let's just start at verse 22, because we're heading towards this. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall be found empty, so no food will be found in your grocery stores, etc. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run, which is talking about famine and lack of water and essentially drought. All right, so that's just what it is, man. The scriptures say that as well. Wake up, for your salvation is nearer than when we believe. Then, man, that prophecy has to come to pass as well, man. All these prophecies have to come to pass, and we gonna be delivered sooner than what we think, man, even though we hasten for that day every single day, So that I like to say, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai Bashram Kakodesh. Wa abad babal shalom.